It's electric guitar music.
Oh, I'm sorry?
Electric guitar music.
Okay.
I mean, I just all those things you mentioned, I kind of definitely been influences of ours, but they all sound so sort of stuck back in a time, and I don't feel like we're really in any of those things. I don't really feel like a rock band or a punk band or a garage band. I just feel like we're trying to see what we can do with an electric guitar and a voice.
You mean like lyrical content? I mean, I don't know. We write what we feel. You know, there's not really one topic that we stick to. It's not really any topics that are off limits.
No.
It's whatever's going on with us in our heads, I suppose. I like it. I think it's important. I mean, we see that going from festival to festival, it's becoming really common, and I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's really important to sort of to set an example and show kind of. I mean, because you think about it, like festivals cost so much money, and there's so much waste, and especially like a decade ago, you could kind of see festivals having quite a bad impact on the environment. So it's a good celebration to see that you can do all this stuff in an ecological way.
Try to leave it the way you found it.
Yeah, it's always been really important to us. It was one of the first shows we did outside of England, was in Paris, and we really noticed the French crowd was really sort of took us to their hearts, and they seemed to. I don't know where we were in London and where we were in the sort of context of starting our band. There was a lot of bands that were really sort of down to earth and kind of, just there was no sort of showmanship and there was no fantasy. It was just, I'm a guy wearing a t-shirt and playing, and we were sort of trying to make our band like a little bit of a fantasy, like living the way that we imagined all the bands that influenced us were living. And we came to, maybe in London it seemed like maybe that attitude was people thought of it as a bit sort of highbrow and a bit pretentious. But it was really cool coming to France and seeing that people they thought of rock and roll as an art, and like it was a sort of, it had some profound deepness to it, And that's how I felt about rock and roll music. It changes people's lives, and that was the first time I really saw it, that, my God, French people really take this seriously, and it's a beautiful thing, I think.
I mean, I agree. Right from the very beginning of our career, those were the best shows, like the most passionate audiences who would outplay me every single night. It was like, maybe the roles need to be reversed and we put the audience on stage and I'll watch you. They are astounding.
Yeah, I think the more that the music industry is becoming kind of toothless, and being every creative thing you do that can generate something exciting, the financial aspect has been ripped away from it. So bands find it harder and harder to earn a living and be able to do it like that. And so you start to branch out, to find other sort of creative outlets for your music. And I think, I've always thought fashion and music were sort of indelibly linked. When I used to buy records when I was a kid, I just used to look at the covers of the albums and buy them on the strength of what the band looked like. So it's always been part of it for me, like that sort of that romance has been part of it for me. And so you tend to gravitate. You take the path that's open and has got some kind of creative potential, and those areas have more than the music industry, which is quite closed and restricted now, I think.
I think the rain's over. Maybe the rain's over. I don't know. Maybe not. I expect it to be great. It looks beautiful out there. It's so nice to see so many people out there already so early, and the music sounds awesome. I love it, so I'm really looking forward to it.
You can never really explain it, can you? Sort of go to like loads of different festivals, and they all essentially have the same things. They have bands, stages, people, backstage,
but they all have
bars,
different feelings.
food. But there's something there's certain festivals you go to that just have a sort of inexplicable magic, and this really feels like it's got a great atmosphere.
Nice. Yeah.
Really, really like the way it's turned out.
Okay, and thank you very much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.